Okay, well, it's 2 o'clock, Chris. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. To recap, in case you just came on, Chris is going to go over transactions for us, and then Lori Bradley is going to go over how to add new agents into AccountTech for those of you that do process agents. If you do not onboard agents into systems, then you can jump off the call after Chris is done. I did just start the recording, so this will be available in Schmidt Resources under the video and social media portion square under the Schmidt video classroom. So every session we've been recording, we've put on there. I did get reports that the second session is a little bit hard audio, but Chris has been covering the same things each time. So you can pick up any of those recordings and watch them. So Chris, I'll let you take it away.
Okay, thank you. Share my screen. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and log into Citrix, which I have saved here in my bar. And it's a dual login process. The first login is a universal login. It's the same for everyone. I'm going to click here on Darwin Schmidt. My link appeared here at the bottom left hand. I'm going to click on that. And this login will be specific to you. And this is the dashboard. So the first thing you want to do is click on Properties here in the top left-hand corner, the little house. And the first one I'm going to review is appending that it is our listing and it is our sale. So if it is our listing, the information will be here. We have to search for it first. The listing information will be here because it feeds from the MLS. So I'm going to click here on search. And you can search by street name or number. Either one will pull up something. I'm looking for 107 Tournament Road, which is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on it. And here is my listing information that gets pulled in from the MLS. So the first thing I want to do is add my selling price. And the commission price autofills. If it's different, you would change it. If not, just leave it alone. Next information I want to put in is my pending date. The close date will already be there as that also feeds in from the MLS. Now does this agent have the listing and the selling side? So I need to add her to the selling side as well. I'm going to check this box right here, sell agent. And I'm going to add her name. You can search by first or last name as well. Click search, double click, and there she is. So that's all the information I need here. Price, ending date, agent name. And I'm going to click save up here at the top. All right, so normally I just work down the line here and you don't have to put information in all of these sections, but I just work my way down. That way I don't forget anything. Features, This information comes from the MLS. There's nothing to do here. Agents. There's my listing agent. There's her name on the buying side. People. There's going to be my seller and my buyer. So I need to add their names. I'm going to click this plus sign right here.
See ya. Take care.
I always search before I add anything because sometimes they are a repeat customer and their name will already be there. So always search before you add anything. So type in the last name here, click search. It produced no results, so I can go ahead and add her. I'm going to click here, add person, plus sign. First name. Last name. First name, last name. Add. And there's my seller's name here. Now I want to add my buyer. Again, click on the plus sign. Search. Well, that's going to be a popular one. So let me just scroll. Okay, the person I'm looking for is not here, so I'm going to go ahead and add person. Click here on the plus sign.
Chris,
Type in the first name.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Is there a way you can zoom in your screen a little bit? People are having a little bit of problem seeing the words of the.
Zoom in the screen. I don't think so.
I'm not sure if Citrix lets you do that or not.
If there is a way, I am not familiar.
Okay. Just go ahead and just keep going. We did have one quick question that. Oh, never mind. It got answered. Okay, carry on. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, first name, last name, click add. And there is the buyer's name. Escrow, nothing to do in this screen here. Commission, I need to add my commission amount. Listing commission. And if there is a broker fee, you would put it here in this field, transaction fee. There is none for this one. There is a broker fee on the buying side. So I'm going to go ahead and add that there. Click save. My agent is already here on the listing and the selling side. There is no referral to add. I do have one with a referral, I believe, that I'll be able to show you today. Yes, okay. Agent net list. This is your agent's commission breakdown. That is the amount they are receiving. Agent net sell, same thing. Commission breakdown and what they're getting paid. I think that you don't see this screen, the post screen, but there's nothing to do here anyway. It's just really to verify numbers, verify the agent's commission, verify the franchise fee, and you're done. I'm going to go ahead and walk through another one that is our listing and our sale. And again, because it's our listing, I can go ahead and search for it. So I'm going to click up here, search. And you can type in either the street number or the street name, whichever you prefer. Click search. Double click on the property once you find it. Okay, so first thing, my selling price. Pending date. She had both sides of this transaction. So I'm going to go ahead and check the box for sell agent. When I click in that little field, it brings me to the search screen. Type in the first or last name, click search, double click, and there is your agent's name. And I'm going to go ahead and click save.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt just one quick second. Julie just let us know that if you're having problems seeing, if you bring up your bar where your mute is found, all the way to the right, there's 3 little dots. If you click on that and click change layout right at top, if you click spotlight, it's going to bring it full screen for you and it's a lot clearer. So thanks, Julie, for that.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to work my way down the left-hand side here. Features, nothing to do here. This comes from the MLS. Agents, there's my listing agent. There's my selling agent. People, seller and buyer. Click on the plus sign to add. That was a question. I'm going to go ahead and search by first name or last name. That's the person I'm looking for, so I'm going to go ahead and double click.
Okay, no, I saw a question on my screen, but I couldn't, I'm not on the phone. Someone had asked about putting the source of the buyer and the seller.
Okay.
So if we click on the seller's name.
To add that, you just click on the seller's name, and it's here. Source, you would, if you know the source, you could select the appropriate, and lead by if you know, agent generated, office generated. If you don't know, click unknown. And then if you click back on properties, it brings you to where you left off. So here we are back at the people screen. I'm going to go ahead and add my buyer. Again, I'm always searching before I add. No results. So I'm going to go ahead and add person. Type in the first name, last name, and add. So we'll go ahead and do the buyer source on this one. Click on the person's name, on the customer's name. Select from the drop-down list if you know it. I do not. And if you click on properties, it brings you back to where you were. You have your seller, you have your buyer. Escrow, nothing to do here. Commission, we need to put in our commission amount. Listing side. There's no transaction or broker fee. There is a transaction fee, broker fee on this side. Click Save. Agent net list. Again, breakdown of your agent's commission. That's what she's receiving. Agent net sell, because she had the selling side as well, the buying side. Breakdown, and that's what she's receiving. Post, you won't see the screen. Some people do, some people don't, but basically there's nothing to do here. You're just verifying your numbers, verifying your agent's commission, verifying the franchise fee. And you're done. All right, the next one I'm going to add is our listing, but it is not our sale. So again, because it's our listing, I'm going to go ahead and search for it. Type in the street number or name. Click search. Double click on the property once you find it. Put in your selling price. Pending date. And we do not have the selling side, so I don't need to check this box or put anything here in this field. So that's basically it for this screen. Price, pending date, and save. And if you do forget to click save, it doesn't let you move on. So it's kind of like a little reminder. Everything will be gray until you do click save. All right, features. This comes from the MLS, nothing to do here. Agents, there's my agent on the listing side. People, seller and buyer. Add my seller, I'm gonna click on the plus sign. Search by last name. No results, so I'm gonna go ahead and add person. Click on the plus sign. First name, last name, and click add. I'm going to click on the customer's name so I could select a source, which again, I don't know. Save. Properties brings you back to where you were. And there is my seller. Buyer. Click on the plus. Search by last name. No results. I'm going to go ahead and add person. Type in the first name, type in the last name, and click add. And there is the buyer. It's not our buyer, so we don't need to add a source or where it came from. Moving on down the left-hand side here, escrow, there's nothing to put in the screen. Commission, put in your commission amount. Broker fee, if there is one. Click save. And I add the other broker's name here on the right-hand side. I click on the plus sign. Search. Type in the brokerage name and search for it. I got lots of those. Keller Williams, and there is the broker on the buying side. Moving down the line here, agent net list, he had the listing side, so his commission breakdown will be on the listing side, and that's what he's getting paid. Agent net sell, we did not have that side of the sale, so there will be nothing on the screen. And again, post, you won't see it, but there's nothing to do here. Just verifying numbers, the agent's commission, and the franchise fee. And you're done with that. I'm going to go ahead and enter another one, which is our listing and not our sale. And again, I'm going to search because it is our listing, so it should be here. Search by street number or name. We have a few of these. Double click on the one you're looking for. First thing, I'm going to put in my selling price. Pending date. We didn't have the selling side, so there's nothing to add to this field. So basically you're putting in your selling price and your pending date, and then you want to click save up here at the top. So moving down, features, nothing to do there. That comes from the MLS. Agents, there's my agent. People, seller, and buyer. Click on the plus sign. Search by last name. Didn't produce any results. I'm going to go ahead and add person. Type in the first name, type in the last name, and click the plus sign, add. Okay, that is our customer, so I'm going to go ahead and add the source, which again, I don't know. Click Save. Properties up here brings you back to where you were. So there is my seller with the source added. Buyer, click on the plus sign, search by last name, nothing, add person, type in the first name, type in the last name, and click add. It's not our customer, so we don't need to add the source. Escrow, there's nothing to do here. Commission, need to add our commission amount. And if there is a broker fee, you would add it here. In this case, the agent is going to pay the broker fee, so I'm going to go ahead and add that when I get to that screen. So I'm going to click Save. I'm going to add the other brokerage name. Click on the plus sign. Search. Type in the name. Click Search. And I'm going to move on. Agent net list. There is the agent's commission breakdown, and she is going to pay the broker fee. So to do that, here in this field where it says transaction fee, I check the box and I add the amount. And it recalculates the agent's commission. If you don't check the box, you can't type anything in this field here. So check the box and type in your amount. Agent net sell, we did not have that side of the deal, so there's nothing on this screen. And again, the post screen is just verifying numbers.
No longer do your numbers, okay.
You're verifying your agent's commission and you're verifying the franchise fee. And you're done with that. Does anybody have any questions? It's pretty straightforward, pretty basic info. Okay, I'm going to move on. The next two I'm going to enter, they are not our listing, they are our sale. So it's not our listing, we have nothing to search for. We need to add the transaction. So to do that, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click New, the plus sign, New. I'm going to pick the appropriate company. We have 2 to pick from. If you have more, pick the right one. Type code, residential. It is a residential sale. It is a single family detached. MLS number. Pending date. Estimated close date. And the address. And then I'm going to click Save. And now that looks like the other ones. I'm going to go ahead and add the selling price. The pending date is already there because you added it in the previous screen. I'm going to check the box for sell agent. And I'm going to search for my agent. Double click, and there she is. And now I want to click Save. Features, there will be nothing in the screen. It's not our listing, so there was nothing to feed from the MLS. Agents, there's my agent right there. People, I need to add my seller and my buyer. Click on the plus sign and search by last name. Some of these names. Search. No results, so I'm going to click Add Person. Type in the first name. And the last name. I might misspell that one. And click Add. The seller is not our customer, so we don't need to add a source. Buyer, click on the plus sign. Search. Type in the last name. Click Search. No results, so I'm going to add person. Type in the first name. Type in the last name. And click Add. There's my buyer. I can click on his name. Add the source, which I don't know. Save. Click Properties, and it brings me back to where I was. Seller, buyer. Escrow, nothing to do in this screen. Commission. I need to add my commission. There's no transaction or broker fee associated with this one. Click Save. And this one does have a referral, so I'm going to go ahead and add the referral here. Click on the plus sign. Search. Veterans United Realty is who I'm looking for, so double click. Oh, save. And I need to put in my referral amount, of course. So you can see here on the right-hand side, you have $1462.50 going to Veterans United. And I'm going to add the broker on the listing side. Okay, that one is not here, so I'm going to go ahead and add the company's name. Click Add. And there they are on the listing side. Agent net list. We did not have the listing side, so this screen will be blank. There will be nothing here. Agent net sell. We have the selling side. There's the agent's commission breakdown. And there's nothing to do here unless you're adding a deduction, if they're paying a transaction fee or broker fee. Sometimes our agents want us to deduct what they owe for their agent billing, and that goes here in this field, POA, payment on account. And again, to add a number there, you check the box, type in the amount, and it recalculates. And post screen, nothing to do here, you're just verifying your numbers. The agent's commission, the referral that's being paid out, and franchise fees.
So before you leave this, Chris, what happened? We had a question if the pending got canceled. And I answered that question. If it is our listing, it will be canceled by way of the MLS when the agent goes in and updates the record. But
Correct.
if it's not our listing, how would we go in and cancel it?
Well, if it's not our listing, then we have to cancel it ourselves. So we would need to search for the property that you're looking for. And here, we would change the status. So we would change it from pending to canceled. And when you select canceled, the field comes up to put in the cancellation date. So that's where you would, right here, I'm sorry. And select canceled, put in the cancel date, and the reason if you know it.
If not, there's an other.
Yeah, if not, there is an other that you can select, and then you would click save. So it's right here on the Property Basics screen. Canceled.
And then another question was asked about numbers. Of course, we know that with AccountTech, we are no longer entering anything into Dash. AccountTech is doing that process. It's feeding to Dash all of this information. But if we required an identification number, it shows them up there where it is in that top right corner where it says ID. And we can make notation of that on our record that that's where we put it.
Yeah, each record has an ID associated with it, which is assigned by the system, and that's where you can find it, right underneath the address, right up here. ID 600-207. Okay, so that is basically it for that one. I'm going to go ahead and enter another one that is not our listing, but is our sale. So again, I need to add a whole new record because it's not our listing. It's not feeding from anywhere. I'm going to click on New. Pick your company. Type code, residential. Accounting code, residential sale. Property type, single family detached. MLS number, pending date, estimated close date, and the address. And then click Save. Okay, now you're going to put in selling price. And you need to add the agent's name here on Sell Agent. So you go ahead and check the box and search by last name or first name or whichever you prefer. Double click, and there is my agent here. Nothing else to add here, so I'm going to click Save up at the top. And I'm going to move down the line. Features, there's nothing here. It's not our listing. Agents, there's our agent there inside. People, I need to add my seller and my buyer. Click on the plus sign. Search by last name. That is not who I'm looking for, so I'm going to add person. Type in the first name, type in the last name, and click Add. And there is my seller. Same with the buyer. Click on the plus sign, search by last name, type in the last name, click search. No results, so I'm going to go ahead and click Add Person. Type in first name, last name, and click Add. This is our customer, so I'm going to go ahead and add the source, which again, I do not know. Click Save. Click Properties, and it brings you back to where you left off. There's my seller. There's my buyer. Escrow, nothing to do in this screen. Commission, I need to add my commission amount. And if there's a broker fee, it would go here in this field. Click Save. I'm going to add the listing broker's name. I'm going to click on this plus sign right here. Search. And it produced nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and add them. And click Add. Click Add again, and there they are. All right, moving down the left here, agent net list. It was not our listing, so there will be nothing on the screen. Agent net sell, that is the agent's commission breakdown. That is their net commission. Again, if there was a deduction, if the agent was paying the broker fee, it would go here. Transaction fee, you check the box and you type in the amount. If they wanted us to deduct money for a payment on their account, check the box and type the amount here, and then this figure would recalculate. And post, if you don't see it, it's okay, because there's nothing to do here other than verify your numbers. Agent's commission, franchise fee. And you are done. Does anybody have any questions? It's pretty straightforward, basic information. All right, if there are no questions, I think Lori Bradley is going to take it from here.
Great. Thank you so much, Chris. And thanks, Karen, for keeping an eye on those questions. That's really helpful. We appreciate it. If anybody on the call, yes.
I don't see the question.
If anybody has questions after the fact, of course, you can always reach out to me, but Chris and Karen are available to answer questions as well. And then just give us a moment here. We'll switch over to Lori, but keep in mind if you're an ASC that does not onboard agents, because perhaps somebody regionally does or your RSC does, you can jump off the call right now. If you want to stay on, hey, information's always a good thing, right? But for those RSCs, the ASCs in Ohio and our regional people in Florida that onboard, please stay tuned for Lori. So Lori, if you wanted to share.
Okay, we're going to talk about entering new agents today. So when I enter a new agent, the first thing I need to make sure is I have a valid email address, because AccountTech is very quick and will send out the sign in for Dash, and you may miss it. So you're going to go to your top, get people. Now, I do not have a new agent, so I'm going to do a test agent. And my agent's name is John Bradley. And I just want to make sure, because we have had agents come back to the company that he's not in there. Okay, so he's not there. I searched, I canceled. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is go over to Basics, Add New, and start there. Okay, so you're going to put in I type much better than this on a good keyboard. John Bradley. Okay, his person type is an agent. Choose your company. And and then your office. Okay? So first, last name, what the person type is, the company, and the office, and hit add. Okay, so he's going to come up now under your people basics. If it's a PA, you can put a company name. If they're using a corporate name, you can put that there. Now you're going to put his email address here. And it gets very particular about email addresses. I'm not going to use a company one because I don't want it to push me out. Oh, this computer. Okay. Your next step is to add the address. I hate this computer. My hands are not made for it. Okay, so you got your address in, and it's going to ask you to save after everything you do. So your address is in there. Type is agent. You're going to put your birthday in here. Your gender. Now your phone numbers. Okay. Scan down for what you want. That's funny because mine has, and usually it will say here that it has a mobile. I wonder why it's not doing that. Business, commercial, code info, phone. I've not seen that before, so I have to find out why it's doing that. We'll usually say show mobile phone, it's a mobile phone, but it's not working. So you pick out the phone, and I don't know why it's not there now. And put it in. Put in the telephone number and hit save. Okay, but there's usually mobile sitting there. And I do not see that. So you've got your phone number. And then you can save it and move along to the next one. Okay, your people links. Over here, you're going to choose your MLS. Put in the NERDS number or whatever they're using there. I know Fort Myers does not use that, and hit click. If you don't have one, that's fine. It will remind you on your front page that you need to get it. So that's a good thing. Okay, and over here we have Social Security, your 1099 type, non-employee, gets 1099 full-time and show on the internet. So the three important things you have to check. Okay, so I'm going to hit save on that. Now, your agent basics. Is that this one? I'm gonna see.
Nope, that's somebody,
Not me.
somebody in the call.
Okay, now you're gonna put your start date in. And whenever they started in real estate, so put that date in there and their brand start date, which would be the same day. Now we are using these recruited by. You hit search here, and let's just say it was Brent. Put in the person's name and search. Okay, so it is Brent Canaveri, and he will appear there. Now you coach, if you know who they're going to be coached by, you can put that in. Okay, that's not her. She's got a TE. Let's go by Hoyle, last name, and search. And there she is. She's with Century 21 and with Sunstar, so I want to pick the Sunstar one. Manager, same thing. You're going to hit search and search for the manager. Look for Brent again. There he is, active. Emergency contact. Okay, so they're going to give you a name. I'm going to search the name, make sure it's not in here. And it is not. I'm going to cancel this. Then you click on here. Oh no, this is weird today. Oh, come on. Thank you.
Someone asked a question if those are required fields.
For what required fields?
Are they required?
It depends on what their area does. Down here, we do it. So it depends on what their culture is up there.
Okay.
Yes, I do it. I think it should be, yes. I don't know why this won't come up. Okay, Karen just asked about the required fields. Down here, we are putting in the recruited by, the coached by, the managed by, in the emergency contact. That all depends on what is wanted in your area and what your management and culture want. Now, this emergency contact usually comes up, and it's not.
If you click on the search on the microphone, or excuse me, on the right there, it should come up there. And then to add a person.
All right. Okay, one thing, thank you. Okay, so we're going to put in, now on this one, the funny thing is there's no place to put a phone number, so I don't know how people would get contacted. So what I've been doing is putting it here. And it does appear, so there was no other place to put it. And then just go down here. Oh my God. Here she is, okay? And put add. So it shows up right next to it.
Lori, can I interject too?
Absolutely.
Two items. One is that the anniversary date does need to be filled in because some of the commission plans are affected by their anniversary date and not necessarily their start date. So then under the agent team, if your agent coming in is or does, even when they're here, join a team, the team has a different commission schedule. If you choose their team that they're on, it will flow over into the commission, how to figure the commissions too.
And one thing on the teams, you have to be highlighted. See how this is grayed out? That has to be working. And I am halfway there to working, not all the way there, so I wasn't going to go over that today. So the next thing is your licenses. Same type of thing. What type of license they have, the sales associate, your city, your state. And then when it was issued. And when it's going to expire. And then your license number. And hit save again. And you can do the same thing. You can add the driver's license in here also. All right. So once you've done that, hit save. I don't know if you guys put in if they have car insurance and that type of thing. But it's the same thing. You just go in there and pick what your auto or errors and emissions. Okay. So you've had your web profile. You can go in there and select your awards, add them. Your general bullets, your expertise, your credentials, anything that you do on Dash. Okay. Now, once I go through here, I'm checking it over. Make sure you have the things in you need. Need to get a telephone number in there.
Hey, Lori, the second thing that I asked on the last call with AccountTech with Tori, can we go back to the Agent Basic screen for a second?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. See that segment down there here in the bottom right under Preferences? Mm-hmm. I asked her when that started showing up. I told her it hadn't been there before.
Yeah, it hadn't been.
And what does that entail? Or what is it covering? What does it affect, I mean? And she did not know the answer.
See, because that would need to be checked. If I had put in a phone number, that would need to be checked.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if that affected what's showing up on the web or what it's there for. And she was going to find out and let us know. But
yeah, that's not been there.
No, it has not been. And so it was either Monday or Tuesday when I was speaking with her, and she was not even aware it was there, let alone what it affected.
That is strange. Okay, so once you have all that in, you can click the submit. And then we'll go in and we'll terminate. Okay, so it was successful. Now, I was going to show you, if I go on to Dash right now, it's all going to be in there. I don't know if she's got hers. I don't know if it will split me into hers. It's literally that quick. Okay, so now we're going to go in. It's time to terminate John. So there's a couple places this has to be done. I'm sorry I'm breathing so hard. She has some kind of natural scent and it's making my nose runny. It's weird how you can move 5 feet and messes you all up. Okay, so we went in here under positions, came over here and I added the termination date. Okay, and that was saved. So it's terminated there. Then you're going to come over here at the 12/5/19. It's terminated over there. And you're going to hit save. Then you're going to hit submit. Okay, so if you go back to your dashboard here, back into people, I want to search him because I just terminated him. Make sure he's red.
You have to go to probably to the second page.
Yeah. There he is. So John Bradley is now terminated. He's red, so you know he's been terminated. And that one is done. Now, there are some things odd. Let's say we had a agent turning to an employee. So you can just, let's take somebody else, people. Let's take Brent. No. Okay, so go over here.
Hey, Lori, could you go back to that screen again there, please? To the people links. I wanted to point something out to everybody.
Yeah, and it's coming.
Yep. Okay, right there. Do you see that 3 of those over to the far left under the AT 2000? And under that line, there's information in there, and under the dash one, there's information there. When older agents will have that dash information in there, all your newer agents will not. Anybody that's been entered through AccountTech versus entered through dash will not have that number, and don't worry about it, it's not needed.
Okay. I did, and this doesn't matter because we're not going to have online office, but somebody asked the other day about getting a GUID number for online office, which I'm just doing in Dash.
Right, and so that's why that's on the new agents, why it's not being put in there, or being populated.
Right. Okay, so let's say that Ben decides to be a broker. Let's make him a bookkeeper. Same thing. You pick where it is, you pick the start date, you pick the termination date, and then you hit save. Now, we had an issue a couple weeks ago where we had made an agent, an employee, and then moved her back, and that's got to be done through the company, evidently. So you're not supposed to do that. So you can leave him in as the under sales also, but you can add him like a lot of the managers are a broker and a sales agent. Okay, let's go back here. On this front page, if you're putting in agents and don't have their MLS number to load it in, it's going to notify you here, which is wonderful. Then you can just click on that and it reminds you to go look for it. And it will just let you click in there and be able to go right to their account and add it. So that's one of the features I like a lot, because that was a pain before, trying to keep up with who was in when you have a lot of new agents. Okay, so we've terminated, we've added someone. We're going to have to wait on the team thing because there's a couple of things that have to be activated. Does anybody have any questions so far?
That's great. We had one that didn't get addressed from Amy. Brent was both the recruit and the manager. He is a manager, but he also recruited that agent. So that's why his name was in there twice.
Absolutely.
Yep. Which will happen a lot because our managers are recruiters.
Yeah, that's 90% of the time.
Yep. I don't see any other questions unless you guys
Can
want
I
to
have a question really quick?
Go ahead.
We're only going to be doing a portion of this, and then is Julie doing the rest, like when we turn paperwork in for new agents?
You'll do.
I actually do, because I'm not sure yet how they're going to handle making sure that the Social Security numbers are in there correctly, and that you have chosen that they are not employed. The reason those items are important is because this is what's going to populate their 1099 at the end of the year. So that's why right now we're requesting that all the paperwork still come in to me, because I do look at every single one and make sure that the information that's in here is correct. Same thing with this. See this Forte client ID right there, right in the middle of the screen, and the ACH and then the CC, which is credit card. That information does not get entered through AccountTech. That actually gets entered through a program called Transaction Plan, and that is an additional step that has to be put in separately from this. And right now we haven't turned that on for anybody besides myself to, and I think Lori, I'm not even sure if Lori has access.
No, I do not.
Okay, so right now it's only me who's putting that information in there, because when you see these numbers under the client ID, the ACH, and then if there is a credit card in there, that's Forte's ID number. Everything that goes in there is encrypted to the point that even AccountTech does not know their account numbers or ID and so on. So right now, until we get everything down pat, that's why the information is still flowing to me, so that we can make sure that information is correct. And we get a procedure down for it.
Okay.
So Jessica, you'll be doing an AccountTech, essentially what you used to put them in Dash, the same information. And then Julie will take it from there.
Yep. Lori, can you explain to them too, because this is a situation we had the other day and I was unable to answer them. Is how do they get their password, username and password for the for the Coldwell Banker National?
It's still coming from Coldwell Banker.
Okay.
That's what I was saying before. Once I hit save and submit, I can click right over to Dash. That account is incomplete and they already have their password. So you got to make sure that that email is good, that you're not putting in, if you're making a Google email for them, that you don't just put it in before you actually set it up, because they won't get their password.
Okay, that was the situation. I wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of that, and you'll have to tell their agent is to make sure if it's not going directly into their direct mailbox, to make sure that they check their spam, their trash, and so on. Because it's not going to go to your email address. It's going to go to theirs. And that's the only way you're going to get that information.
And if they don't happen to get it, typically it's first name dot last name at coldbanker.com, and they can just head to CV Exchange and do a password reset.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't see any other questions. I know we went a little long. We had a little technical difficulty. Sorry, I made you suffer through Chris's keyboard there, Lori. But again, if you guys have questions after the fact, reach out and let us know. We do have one more of these sessions next week, I do believe. So if there's a topic that you're still really unsure of, if you're in Michigan and you're in the sandbox, if you're in Ohio and you're in the live, or Florida in live sessions, live AccountTech, let us know if there's anything that we can cover to help you guys out in your local offices. Ohio, you guys have a specific training tomorrow to cover some of the issues that are unique to your region. So Cammie and Katie are going to help us out and do a training on that. So please still attend that, even if you were on this one, because they will cover some of those specific deductions that you guys have in your region. And then Michigan, please, please, please keep in mind that starting Monday, the 9th, you cannot do anything in Dash. It's a blackout. Please don't even log in. Just stay out of Dash starting on the 9th.
And please keep it, Carrie, I'm right on that note for the Michigan ones. Please keep in mind that if you have new agents coming in during this blackout period, we can't put them in, period. No matter, you can send me all the paperwork, and please do so, but I cannot enter them into the program, and neither can you during this blackout period. So it may be a week and a half before they can get their login information and so on.
Correct. And that's just a communication that we need to have with the agent and the manager recruiting them, so that they are aware that in this transition phase, there will be a slight delay. They'll still have dot loop and listings to leads and all that other stuff. It'll only affect their Coldwell Banker tools, CV Exchange, Zap, CVX.